Hi, this is Aaron from Superior Singing Method, and this is Improve Your Vocal Tone Today. Okay, improve your vocal tone today. The most common killer of vocal tone is nasality, and ironically, I'm a little congested today, so I'm talking very nasally today, so this is the perfect fit for this video. So the nasal tone is like, it's just this kind of nasal tone. If you're singing with this tone, unless you're trying to do it as some type of some type of character or something, it doesn't usually sound that good. So that nasality doesn't sound good. It doesn't have a very nice, crisp, full, resonant tone, right? And so I want to help you today to improve your tone, and particularly in this area. I think a lot of people, this is a common thing for a lot of people. So hopefully this helps. So when your palate is too low, your soft palate, the nasality comes from the soft palate. So the soft palate is this. If you, with your tongue, follow the roof of your mouth, and where it's hard, right up top, that's your hard palate. If you follow it back more, or it gets soft back there, that's your soft palate. So when you're it's nasal when your soft palate's really low, but you don't want it too high because that's like, hi, I'm Kermit the Frog. That's too high. So you want some kind of balance in between. And what happens, the nasality comes from when we're using our nose as our primary resonator. And we want to actually put a little bit of nose into it. That's actually what the Italian singers say. Put a little nose into it. But you don't want to sing through your nose because it doesn't sound very good. But pop singers do put a little nose into it, like Adam Levine is one, but a lot of pop singers, so it'll be like, I'm on a payphone trying, that kind of, trying to go home. That's that pharyngeal, little bit of nasal thing going on there. So it's okay to put some nose in it, but if it's too much, it just doesn't sound good. So here's how we can understand how the soft palate works and put a little nose into it, but not too much, to help really improve our vocal tone. So what I want you to do is I want you to plug your nose, and when you plug your nose, you sound kind of nasally, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to plug your nose and do what you can not to sound nasally. So watch this. So I'm just doing normal. Now I sound a little less nasally, right? A little less nasally. And so it's still a little bit nasally, but what happens to get that sound a little less like this and a little more like this, what I had to do that is raise up my soft palate. So this is a good exercise to teach you how to raise up that soft palate a little bit, so when you're singing, you understand how to do that. Another really great way, an exercise you can do, it's a 3-tone descend on the word hanger. Hanger. So notice when you go hanger, actually that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do it on 3 or 5, but let's do it on 5 just because I just said that. Hanger. And notice where the soft palate is. Hanger. As you go through that hanger, your soft palate raises just slightly. So 3, what would 3 be? Hanger. Try like that and notice what happens with your soft palate. So you have more control over your soft palate than you may realize. But okay, how to sing high notes for guys without straining. That's a mouthful. The first thing is where most of the strain comes from is when we raise our larynx up when we hit high notes, which is really common. And you're singing like, that kind of larynx is high. So we want to keep that larynx steady when we're singing. And part of the way we do that is really, you can just look in the mirror and sing your favorite song and sing some of those high notes and see what your larynx is doing. You can even touch your larynx and feel it as it goes up. And notice the placement of your voice that you need to keep it steady. Now keeping it steady, lowering it can also cause strain, so that it's strain when it's high, but it's also strain when it's low. The middle position is what you want. You don't want an operatic low. You don't want that, and you don't want that either, because that squeezes your throat, squeezes the air, and it gets a really bad tone, like a squeezy tone, and it's just hard to hit the notes anyway. So even if you hit the note, it generally doesn't sound very good. When you keep the larynx steady, and it takes time, and I would do every song, the high notes that you hit, pick the certain high notes that normally you feel strain, and just focus on those and see what it feels like really lightly. So at first, those high notes, just sing those high notes really, really lightly. Get it right as when it's light, and then you can add the more weight on top once you see what it feels like to keep that larynx nice and steady. Because when you keep your larynx steady, what happens is it takes the pressure off, so the muscles kind of squeeze in around the larynx, and to take that pressure off, you keep your larynx nice and steady. Also, another thing that keeps a strain is the muscles we use to swallow. When they engage, those muscles are called the digrastic muscles. A lot of time if we're like nervous or we're straining or tense, it tenses up our digrastic muscles down there. So you want to make sure that that's nice and loose in there too. So work it out a little bit, maybe work it out a little bit here. We give a little like, make sure they're nice and loose down there because a lot of tension can come from there. So, and of course you want to get rid of tension. Tension is just bad singing. It's just hard to sing well at all and make it sound good with tension. Hope that's helpful. Click the link below if you want my favorite vocal exercise and also some other fun free stuff. And then you can find my course, Superior Singing Method there. It's a full course, everything you need, A to Z, how to build the voice that you want to sing with. Full tone, resonant, and the high notes and all that stuff. Because that's what we do. We build a voice. It's not that we're born with a good voice or we're not born with a good voice. It's something that the right exercises and techniques will get us there. Okay, increase vocal range in a week. I mean, let's be honest. You're probably not going to increase your vocal range like an octave in a week, but a note or two, yeah, I actually think that you can. Here's my first question for you. Do you do vocal exercises, warm-up exercises daily? If you're like most of my students or just most people in this world, you probably don't do them every day. Maybe you do them from time to time. You're checking YouTube and you kind of do it here and there, maybe before a gig or whatever. But here's what I want to challenge you to do something, and I'll get there in a minute. First thing I want you to do is go to a guitar or a piano or any instrument that you have in the house, and I want you to check what is the note that you sing right now, like what is kind of at the top of your range, like whatever it is up top there, and I'm not talking about a note that you strain to, like, nothing that sounds, what is like a nice strong note that you can sing with plenty of breath support, but it's at the top of your range. So I want you to check what that is. I want you to write it down, and then I want you to commit to doing just one exercise for the next 7 days, but make sure you do it every single day. And what I want you to do is I want you to do the exercise for about 2.5 minutes. This is 7 days in a row. And then I want you to go back and check it on that instrument and see what your highest note is at that point. Okay, you ready for the exercise? It's woo and wee. And the woos, I want you to do the woos up and the wees down. And you can actually intermingle. You can do woos up and down, wees up and down. But just for the sake of this video and this exercise, do the woos up and the wees down. So it's going to be woo 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 wee 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 wee. And then take a breath. You're going again from the bottom of your range to the top of your range. You're not straining, but you're just doing it nice from the bottom to the top and helping expand that range. So let's try it again. Take a breath and then do it again and do it for 2.5 minutes straight. If you're about to pass out, stop for a few minutes. That's fine, no big deal. And then you can just pick it back up again. Remember, every day, but for only 7 days. Then I want you to go back and check and see what note that you're at, because it's going to take a little bit of consistency. Reaching your dreams as a singer and becoming a great singer and increasing your range. All these things are great. They're possible, and they're possible for you too, not just for people that were born with talent. You know that's not what I don't believe that you have to be born with talent. You just have to have a little bit of tenacity, know the right exercises, and move toward the goals that you want. So anyway, that's what I want for you. Also, click the link below because I've got my other favorite exercises down there and just a lot of really great free resources for you. So click the link below and I'll see you next time.